Or you can make a foolish...
All right, let's be honest. When you were in the middle of that moment, that was you and God and going, what the bleep? If you had somebody come up to you and say, well, hey, this is why it's going on, you probably wanted to beat them. Some of you did beat them, because I know you all well enough that I know there was violence that happened.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping you're still repenting of that, but that's okay. So I don't want to assume or give the attitude that today I have all the answers to this question. As I wrap my mind around this week, I was challenged deeply again by it. And but I hope that we can at least explore and look at some ideas that help make sense, because it's a question that pushes us deeply. Father, I believe that you are real, and that you're listening, and that you care. Even after this week I looked at atrocities of humanity again. Father, I ask that sometimes we're weighed with the reality of human drama that is huge. And we say, where are you? And are you real? And there's other times that it's something that's happened to us. It's very personal. It makes us look at you and say, you must not be real, because this happened. And I'm with a lot of friends today, and I don't know where they are, all of them on that journey. But I pray that you would be the one speaking and would make sense out of whatever we're looking at in our lives. Amen. There's a story in Daniel chapter 5 that I think is a great story to illustrate how I think sometimes we come to this question. So there's this king, King Belshazzar. His grandfather was King Nebuchadnezzar. Woohoo! Well, King Nebuchadnezzar was a great king who conquered a lot of other kingdoms, including Israel, Judea, and brought the people back to Babylon. His grandson, Belshazzar, hasn't done much except, well, think of spoiled rich heirs or heiresses, and you have a kind of a picture of Belshazzar. Hasn't done much, but enjoys the good life that his fathers and grandfathers have given him. So he's bored to death, sitting around his palace going, what shall we do with my life? And he says, I know, and as every good person who has nothing to do says, I got nothing to do, let's throw a party. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Let's have a party. So he throws the party of all parties. 1,000 people. Now, when I have a party, it's like 5, 10, 15 people. At that point, the house is crowded. Anything beyond that's ridiculous, and they're out in the backyard praying that I picked up after the dog. But this guy has 1,000 people at his party. His wives, his concubines, it is a party. They're having a good time. They're getting drunk, having a good time, and as they're doing it, hey, you know what, Grandpa Nebi defeated Israel, and they got all that stuff from the temple, and our God's rule, because look at this, we have nothing to do but have a party, so go get the stuff from the temple, and let's drink from that. So they go get that from the temple, and they're having a party. It gets later and later and later. They get drunker and drunker and drunker. And suddenly, verse 5, chapter 5, book of Daniel, suddenly they saw the fingers of a human hand writing on the plaster wall of the king's palace near the lampstand. The king himself saw the hand as it wrote, and his face turned pale with fright. Yeah, you think? His knees knocked together in fear, and his legs gave way beneath him. Now, imagine that tonight, I'm a nice guy. That's the big first imagine, and it's going to be hard for you, but work with me. Imagine I'm a nice guy, and I invite you over to my house, and so we can take everybody here. There's 100-some people here. You all come over to my house, so we're spilling out on the lawn, into the bedrooms, in the bathroom, whatever. People are everywhere in my house, and you all are great guests who don't leave. So we keep making more popcorn. The Dr. Pepper is flowing.
Amen.
That too.
You know, I'm so glad you're here, but God can heal anything.
Of course there is a happy medium.
So anyway, we're having a great time at my house, watching movies, playing games, eating popcorn, drinking Fresca, and suddenly, on my wall, my vault ceiling wall, this hand appears and starts writing. Okay, freaky, a little creepy. What's going on? Starts writing this message. I think it would get my attention, and I think it might get your attention. Etched into the drywall comes this writing. They go get Daniel because they're freaking out what it is. And Daniel comes to verse 25. He says, this is the message that was written. Mene, mene, tekel, parson. This is what these words mean. Mene means numbered. God has numbered the days of your reign and brought it to an end. Tekel means weighed. You have been weighed on the balances and not measured up. Parson means divided. Your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and Persians.